It's that time of year. JFS Season 5 is over, and Season 6 is right around the corner. Let's talk about Season 5 for a bit. Now, please forgive me. I am. Oh, weather. Join. Yo. Out of all things, that was unexpected. Anyways, like I was saying, I am a little sick. So, yeah, my voice is gonna be sound off, and I might have to mute and cough a few times or edit out the cough. So there might be some weird editing in this episode. But I thought since I spent like the most time on JFS season 5, I should talk about some stuff. Talk about my opinions. Talk about rails. No, we're not gonna talk about rails. All in all, I GG weather. All in all, I think season 5 was a great season. I think a lot of people did abandon it within the year or two, but I kept playing. I kept trudging on, and I tried to gather activity every once in a while, but unfortunately, people weren't interested in a few of my ideas, and a few of my ideas didn't really go anywhere. But I'm glad for what was built on this server, and we're just gonna walk around and talk and do whatever. What does the sign say? Natina, Natana. Okay, I'm not gonna read that. I think for season 5, we have an amazing spawn. I do think the addition, if I had some pillars on this rail, it would have looked a little better, but I did not feel like completing this rail. I lost motivation after completing this one rail. I didn't want to work on the other rail that was going to lead all the way to Cherry Grove. Plans change, but I think they change for the better. But I think the rail station is definitely one of my most favorite builds on the server. I think I did pretty well with it. Well, the exterior, the interior could use a little bit more work. I always planned to put like kind of a ticket booth area, like somewhere in this area, and I had the idea from Muckluck, who was supposed to build Starlux, to put like shops in these corners, but never fully gotten around it. Yeah, I lost a lot of motivation for doing stuff in this rail station, and it's no fault but my own, to be honest. I did procrastinate a lot in the end. As you could tell, it's been what, 9 months since the last JFS video, and this is like the first JFS video for season 5 in 2025. I forgot what year we're in. I almost said 2005. Whoops, too many fives. Talking about procrastination and incomplete builds, we have my volcano, which you can't really see in render distance, but we'll talk about the whole idea I had with the volcano, the gym, and the little adventure I would send you on. So this would be basically your spawn island, and your first stop would be the fisherman's hut, which is complete. I guess I did add some of the treasures, some of the redstone aspects of the game. I think if we go somewhere underneath there, there is like a water cave that leads to a tiny little space that I always plan to have like as a secret entrance to the volcano gym if you didn't want to go through the normal entrance, and this would take you to pretty much the first challenge if you figure out how to get in there. Basically, you have to go in the village, and then we'll head to the village. And as you can see, I do have a happy gas just flying around back there. But after the fisherman hut, you would end up in this village that doesn't really have people inside. It has animals and horses and stuff. You can see a sheep back there. But the idea of this village would be you can get supplies, you could get some information from some of the villagers. The important houses would be the chief's house, the Church of the Flame, as I like to call it, the shop, and maybe a couple of these bigger houses would have had some loot inside. And basically, you would come to this village, find out that bandits had taken over that side. Yeah, bandits had taken over that side, and you would cross a bridge that didn't get made. You would come to this little area where there would be a watchtower right here. I was planning to blow that whole area up right there where you could see like a giant scar, I guess. But this whole like peninsula right there was supposed to be blown up. All this dirt was supposed to be replaced by pale moss. And you would go pretty much like somewhere up here. And there would be like kind of an adventure kind of map where you would have to be dodging withers, skellies, or zombies, or whatever I put inside the little bandit camp that I was going to make. But yeah, that was going to be like your first mission, to like find the treasure that the bandit stole from the village. And then from that treasure, you would get the key that would lead you to the front entrance, which the plan was along this path here, leading all the way, like winding down all the way over here. Right here would have been the entrance to the volcano, where you would find the Pokemon Center and or is it Pokemon Center or is it Gym League building thingy? I forget what it was, but the entrance would be right here, and I would have done some redstone to make like a redstone key that you would need a specific item to open up the gym. So basically, the whole going to find the treasure of the village from the bandits would lead you to finding the key to open the gym door. But like I said, there was gonna be like a secret with the fisherman hut where you will have a straight entrance to the gym, pretty much. But yeah, never got completed. I did do a lot of digging for like hollowing out this mountain to get the gym ready to put lava and complete my challenges. Unfortunately, it's a lot of digging. My goal was, right after I placed all the basalt, was to begin digging, and I did begin digging, but I procrastinated a lot and did not complete all the digging. Basically, to make the gym challenges, my goal was to dig until a certain level. We're at 140. My goal was to dig all the way to 100 and start making like the final challenge would be up here. The first challenge would be like somewhere down there. And basically the challenges were, the first one would be a little target kind of shooting thing where you're riding a Strider on lava, over lava, and you're shooting some targets around this little area that I would have created. Then you go up a level, you get to a lava maze where you just have to find your way through the lava maze to get up to the final level, which is you would have the gym platform that you would go on, and basically the goal would be there would be lava underneath you. Hopefully you would have a fire potion on you, and your goal is to jump into the lava, find the key hidden in a chest somewhere in the lava. That was the idea. And the final challenge was going to be you go into the nether and you have a fight with me. But yeah, never happened. A lot of digging had to be done still. and I just procrastinated a lot and focused on stuff like building the village and such. But the village was needed to tell this story I was kind of telling with this gym. I'm a very creative person. I like writing. Talking about incomplete builds, I do have to mention the castle that I was working on, and I'm not gonna lie, I should have probably built my gym in the castle instead of choosing an area and digging it out. Because right behind the gym, I kind of had this kind of open space. Oh, right behind the castle, kind of had this open like hole, and I think this would have been great to use for making the gym challenges. So basically, the volcano would be inside the castle, and I regret not working on this castle more. Um, I'm sad that I kind of abandoned it, but it got big and it took a lot of blocks, and mining for Blackstone was annoying, and then AFK for Blackstone is also annoying. So yeah, never came back to work on it. But if I could redo season 5 and redo the whole gym challenge again, Dean joined the game. Hey, if I could redo the whole gym challenge stuff again, I would definitely make the gym inside the castle. But oh well, there's always next season to build more incomplete builds. Talking about completed builds, I do have my house at the Cherry Grove or the Cherry Divide or whatever we decided to call this. I do have this house and I do have the Witch's Cave all the way back there. And I still have the burning question of who the heck is Nutsack McGee? I feel like this is a complete muckluck thing, but you never know. We have a lot of immature people on this server, including myself, but I did not name the sniffer Nutsack McGee. I had this sniffer, Nutsack McGee. He came out of nowhere and he's all up in my. I'm in him now. This is lovely. One thing I am proud of, and it didn't get more use out of it, was Halloween Town, or the little town that I created or wanted to create with other people of JFS. Yeah, not many people are too interested in coming out here and building in this little Halloween town. But I have the graveyard I built. I have the witch house that I built. And I wonder if the redstone still works. Yep, the redstone still works. Oh. And the witch got hurt. Lovely. But yeah, I had this little idea for this town to get more activity on the server. That was my original goal. Unfortunately, not many people are too interested in building. There's myself, Muckluck, a zombie for some reason. There's Specials build over there, and there's Aces's build over here, and then there's the Great Giant Pumpkin that we built together as a group. And I know Dennis was building something over in this area, but I think Dennis lost motivation and just abandoned it. There's some zombie flesh over there that I did not kill a zombie there. Now, one build I love, and I don't really talk about it too much. Well, I do bring it up every once in a while, but this build right here, the Citadel of Santa Claus. Basically, I had this really silly idea one day that I would build this kind of place that would eventually be the home to some mobs in different areas. You can see some iron doors that was supposed to have mobs behind it. And the idea of this whole place was this really stupid, silly Christmas video that I wanted to do called Red Star Blows Up the JFS. That would involve me saving the JFS, but then destroying the JFS. Of course, I wouldn't destroy the actual JFS. It would be on a map download of this world. But still, this Citadel of Santa Claus. I love the colors that were used. I love the design of these like little towers out in front The inside is wonderful in my opinion, and I think I would build something like this on the next server. Maybe questionable. Do a Citadel Santa Claus 2 and make it into a little adventure that the whole server can participate in. Now, I guess there's no better place to end than my tower. One of the first things I built on the server. The idea for this tower was to build a tower that went all the way up to the sky and all the way down below, because I think the new like height limit and downward limit were increased at that time, and my goal was to make a giant tower, and essentially I did. We at the very top. On top there is just an empty room with fire all the way up there. But yeah, this top room was supposed to be my bedroom, and a lot of the rooms in this tower are incomplete. I didn't really have a goal for a lot of these rooms, so they remained empty. You can see some of my building materials that I've left behind. You kind of get a good view of like the rail station and behind Muck's castle. You can see the lake and the bridge over there and the cow house. You can't see Ace's castle though, so sadness. You can see a bit of Ace's build. You can see Ace's trim, I guess. But yeah, a lot of this tower is empty, sadly. I had plans for these rooms originally. I think one was supposed to be a kitchen, one was supposed to be a storage room, one was supposed to be a house for my dogs and cats. This room has been taken over by the cows, so that's lovely. But yeah, a lot of these rooms did remain empty. I didn't really have a plan for all these rooms. I built a couple of farms that we will eventually get to once we get lower in this tower. But yeah, a lot of work, a lot of dedication to this tower. This was the first goal I had on the server to build this tower. As you can see, we get to the first floor with actual stuff built to my mud farm that has no mud. My lava farm that was supposed to be for all the lava that I use for my gym. The nether warts. Get down here, there's some villagers, one set of villagers. The first set of villagers that I had. Keep going down. One of these transition rooms. Get to my color world farm, my color sheep farm, and my animal farm. Where I get all my steak, chicken, pig, pork, mutton, my cactus, and sugar cane farm, my crops farm, and I believe we're at the first floor. Yeah, tower. Some farms, a lot of emptiness. You got my storage room down here. You got this floor that didn't really have a purpose. The purpose that it served was getting goat horns. Just chilling here, hoping that a goat headbutts me and hoping that I get a nice horn. We're gonna go to my starter cave, I guess. My bamboo farm, my sugarcane farm, more farms over here, cactus and such. I love this little starter house because a bunch of people came and built like all these silly little statues, and I use this area a lot for like enchanting, cooking stuff. There's my foxes. I guess we can go to the war room real quick. Yeah, war room. Zed dog. Good boy. Didn't really use this room too much. It was just a silly little idea. And the original fishing plank that I did a lot of my fishing on. The original little starting area where I first dug in to this cave to my home. Also, Flux's vacation home. Alright, so go up here. You got a little walkway. Not too fancy. You got all these weird stuff placed by Dennis, who's being silly. I did have ideas to build like a ship in this little bay area. I did have ideas to build pillars underneath the bridge, but unfortunately, not enough. Not enough time to do all the things I wanted to do. Hopefully, in Season 6, I'll be able to do the things that I want to do. I have loads and loads of ideas, and hopefully they all get realized. Season 5, looking back at it, I gotta say, I am satisfied. I know in my single player world, I said I felt nothing towards Season 5. Mainly, I felt nothing towards all the voting or towards like the server ending. That I felt it was right. It was only a matter of time before some discussion of the server ending would have happened. And I'm glad it's sooner rather than later. I feel like I would only just procrastinate more if I wanted to. But hey, we did a lot of stuff. We have the most hours on the server, and I am proud of everything I've built on the server. I'm proud for all the activities we've done, all the mini games that were played. Oh, we didn't even visit Jiffyland. I named Jiffyland. It was a great land. Hopefully next season we'll have more mini games and such. I do have plans on mini games, so I'm excited for that. But now I guess season 5 must come to an end. It's been a good 3.5 years. We could have went on longer, but I think this is a good place to end things off. Isn't that right, Scrappy Ben? We totally didn't steal this dog from Muckluck, and it's totally not gonna sit out here forever. Muckluck is a bad owner of Minecraft dogs. But here we are, the tomb of RedStar. Here to say a final goodbye. Here to say, all in all, I had a good time. I cannot wait for Season 6 and what the new season will bring. I hope for fun, for minigames and shenanigans, and I hope that I'll do justice in many great builds I have planned. But all in all, it's been a good time. It has been fun while it lasted, but now we must say goodbye. Until next time, until Season 6, I say goodbye and just wait for next time, because I'll see you all soon. Thank you all for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one. I'll see you in Season 6. Peace out, nerds.